Hi, welcome back to CS170. I'm going to try to do a quick video today about conditional formatting. I think there are some challenges that people solve for the latest assignment, so just I'll run through that quickly. But before I get to that, I'm going to put like a PDF into resources about conditional formatting. Hopefully that helps also. So you can see some of these functions here. And I noticed like on the Max FS, there were some people that had some problems with this because they couldn't get the latest version of the Rutgers Excel to download. But I think most people eventually got that sorted by downloading the latest version. If you still can't do that, which I think is only a couple people, just talk to your TA, myself, um, and we'll just make a note of that and account for that. So there's nothing to worry about. I think most of the stuff should be working for you on the Excel, even if you're running a little bit older version. But do try to run the latest version of Excel from Rutgers if you can. Especially run the one that's downloaded, because if you run it on the internet browser, you're also missing some of the functionality too. Okay, so let's go to conditional formatting. So I pulled up some sample data, and I know we've done conditional formatting in the past where you just kind of select a column and it's like simple thing where it's greater than or less than some criteria. We can make it a color or something. Um, but I think we want to try to do something a little bit more, maybe have like a couple of parameters. So let's see what we can do here. So quickly, I would just say, let's do this one. And then if I look for, let's say I want to look for all consumer ones. That kind of highlights this to be like the red that we selected here, but of course you can select any of these here. And then you have this here, okay? Now if I go back to here, I go to manage rules, and you kind of see this. This kind of applies to the whole sheet. I just want to highlight this, and I'll show you what happens if I highlight a range of this in a second. But I'm gonna go H2 to, let's just work with 1,000 right now. So let's do H1, 2, 3. Okay, and I apply that. Go back to here. Okay, so instead of like the whole sheet, I just kind of update this applies to just here. Okay, and it goes to consumer. But let's say I go to U over here. So my range here is H2, and I make this to be 1,000. Not 1,000, I put it to U. Okay. All right, so that will cover this whole range here. And now I'm going to edit this. I'm going to go to the formula, and I'm going to still just keep with this for a second. So I'm going to do $H2, which is here, the segment, and I'm going to say equals to consumer. Okay, now you see what happened here? So I set the formula, right? And the formula was for H2, anything that equals to consumer. But you see, because I said applies to, it goes from H all the way over to U. So it highlights kind of like almost the whole record starting from H here. But in this case, I actually just want to do H. So I'm going to do that. And then you can see what happens here. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward, I hope. All right, so now I've set up a formula to light up things in red, where in H2, anything that equals to consumer. Let me go back to here, manage rules. All right, so formula H2 equals to consumer, make it red, right? And then applies to, I just want to do the first 1,000 records, right? But if I want to go further, I'll go further, it's fine. and you have this here, right? Now let's do something else here. Now I'm gonna go and you remember for and what that means. It means it checks each of the criteria in there. If they're all true, then it's true, okay? And let's go to $U2, which is this column, the profit. Let's do greater than 0 for now, okay? So I'm checking for anything that's consumer and greater than 0 over here. And apply, right? And you see some of these kind of clicked off, right? And actually, since this is red, usually I guess red will be looking at things that are negative. So let's flip this around. Let's make this negative. So anything that's a consumer and has a negative profit. Okay, so you can see this. Remember conditional formatting, and you see what I'm doing here, right? I'm using the and is consumer and profit is less than 0. Okay, it's formatting to red, and I'm applying to this range here. And let's see what that looks like. I just take this one here. Why am I doing that? I just do this. This is 5. So it's negative, right? So you can see negative, and you can see consumer. That's why that's red. Okay? So this is like a little bit of a quick example on the conditional formatting, which I think is not exactly, but kind of similar to what you're going to be asked for in your homework problem. So hopefully this will help you. So take a quick look, and you can play around. There's obviously other different types of parameters you can put in, like you normally would. Usually you're going to be checking things as numbers, or you're going to be checking if things equals to a certain text. Okay, so try that out, and hopefully this helps you out for conditional formatting. All right, and I'm going to be posting something to modules for resources, so that might help you further with looking at conditional formatting. All right, thank you.